Ooh, beautiful stamp.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. They've made good choices here. The iconic monsters.
Vecna. We bought a Mimic. Ooh, a Displacer Beast. Oh, this is fun. We have character ones. It's a dragon in Dungeons and Dragons. You can't really go wrong.
Very displayable.
They're just stunning.
Really, really cool product here. My name's Alex Roberts. I'm a postman / trainee manager in the Portsmouth area, based out of Chichester. This is my lovely wife, Keira.
Hi.
So we've been asked to get involved as we're releasing a new set of stamps with a Dungeons and Dragons theme. Keira and I have played for the last few years at least, and we're really into it. In fact, we've already had a few games in the last few weeks, and try and make a regular thing out of it. We have in front of us currently, I assume, a box with the stamp-related material. I assume the stamps themselves, and I don't know what else, but we'll find out when we open it.
That is the nature of an unboxing video.
Yes, thank you.
That's what it's about. We get a box and we open it and we do things and we talk about it.
Yeah. I'm going to say up front, I've never actually watched an unboxing video.
I have. I have watched several fun ones. Dungeons and Dragons is a massive community for the uninitiated, and it just so happens that this year is its 50th anniversary. It's been running since the 70s. I can't
imagine that's related to this stamp release at all.
No, of course not. But it's a massive community now because it's such an accessible game. You can play it online, you can play it in person, and you can design it to be whatever kind of fantasy you're into, whether you're sort of a very high swords and dragons and elves kind of high fantasy, or you're into steampunk. There's a setting set in space. You can go all over these amazing fantastical realms, and it is a game for everyone, whether you like the mechanics, which is your thing, or the dressing up bit, which is I like. It's the dressing up and the storytelling.
But yeah, it's great that Royal Mail has gotten in on this partnership, and let's see what's in the box.
Let's hack open a box. Please always make sure there's a grown-up around when you're cutting up boxes.
Let's see what's inside. Lots of packing.
Lots of packing.
So there is an inventory list. We've got a Dungeons & Dragons Vecna fan sheet.
Ooh.
Dungeons & Dragons presentation pack. I'll abbreviate to D&D. D&D postcards, D&D owlbear fan sheet, D&D stamp souvenir, a collector's sheet, and, one more page, a Red Dragon fan sheet.
Oh, these are good choices.
Well, let's see what's under the packing.
Ooh.
So let's put that on the floor. So I'm guessing this is the
postcards. So we've got some nice classic Dungeons and Dragons monsters here. We've got a nice classic.
Or are they all the same? No,
they're all different.
Yeah.
So we've got the Red Dragon. It's like you can't go wrong with a dragon, to be honest with you.
I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah. So we might as well put a dragon in this Dungeons and Dragons thing. We've got an owlbear, which is exactly what it says on the tin. It is a giant bear-like owl, and it can fly.
I don't think they can fly, actually.
Can they not fly?
No, they can't fly.
No, I thought they could.
No, they can't fly. They're more bear than owl.
They're more bear than owl. Then we've got probably
just to protect you from the wrath of D&D enthusiasts.
Then we've got possibly one of the most classic villains of the Dungeons and Dragons canon, Vecna.
They released a new campaign book centered around Vecna recently, so
yes.
they're once again in the center stage. But yeah, what else we got?
We've got a gelatinous cube. If you don't know what a gelatinous cube is, they're pretty much what it says on the tin, but it will consume you and slowly sort of dissolve you in acid, so you end up as just a skeleton inside. Oh yeah, it's,
There is horror in your Dungeons and
Dragons
as well.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff is quite creepy. Oh, speaking of creepy, we have a mind flayer. If you don't know what a mind flayer is, it's this thing. It's your tentacled horror that feeds on brains.
Tentacle aliens from space.
Tentacle aliens from space that eat brains.
Yeah.
Then we've got a mimic.
Probably one of the most infamous creatures
I've been scuppered by these before. So a mimic most famously appear like this. They appear as like a treasure chest. But if you're not careful and you don't roll high enough on certain checks to identify it, it might eat your arm. because they can perfectly replicate household items.
Surprise is their main thing.
Surprise is their main thing. I once got scuppered in a game by a wardrobe.
Yeah.
Then we have, a Displacer Beast.
So I know they feature one in the D&D movie that came out.
Yes, there's
2
also
years ago, I think.
and there was also an owlbear in the D&D movie.
Yes, there is. Yeah. I haven't actually interacted with Displacer Beasts in a game before, or nor have you used them, but they're pretty cool and they're very well known. Again, they've made good choices here. There's lots of things that are very well known within the wider D&D community.
Oh, absolutely.
The iconic monsters.
Oh yeah, speaking of an icon, we have a Beholder.
Yep.
So these are sort of all-seeing eyes. They play a lot of mind tricks and things like that, and they're also just a little bit creepy looking. Again, these are just also many iconic monsters. They're just, I just think.
Oh, we have a character stamp.
And we have character ones.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, this is fun. We have a Tiefling Rogue. So a Tiefling is basically a devil. Or someone with a devilish lineage, a Tiefling Rogue. Rogues are the sneaky, hiding in the shadows.
As with all classes in D&D, they all have a lot of inspirations. Like the Tiefling Rogue, well, the Rogue can be anything from your backstabbing assassin.
Pirates as well.
Yeah, like they encapsulate
traveling.
so much, especially after so many years of D&D now as well.
Yeah. Then we have Human Bard. You may have heard things about bards, not necessarily all true, but they are your performer types, so they are your minstrels, your court entertainers.
Your persuaders, your seducers, your many other things.
Very much, yeah. But there's a dragon and you have a bard in your party, be careful. They will try. Our halfling. So this is our halfling cleric. So in Dungeons & Dragons, there are various different faiths and religions and cults that you can join. So you can worship in many different ways.
Or just make up your own when you create your character.
Or you just make up your own.
Honestly, it's completely free form.
Yeah. But the cleric is one of the sort of holy types who like going on adventures.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you all like going on adventures.
You all like going on adventures, but they are sort of very happy-go-lucky. They are very difficult to frighten. They're quite tough little things, really. Then we have elves.
Kind of disappointed it isn't just a human fighter for the I'm a human being and I wield a sword.
John Human Man, the human fighter. So here we have an elf fighter. So if you're a new player, the fighter is probably the best class to start with because it basically just does everything.
It's very accessible and frankly they are still very good and interesting. They have plenty of depth to them once you get into it. And they're just always useful. Like you never go wrong with a fighter.
And they live a long time. And
Which has other implications.
Yeah, and they have magical capabilities and stuff like that.
What else we got?
Dragonborn Wizard. So yes, you can just be a dragon, sort of, in Dungeons and Dragons.
You like spells.
You like
learning spells. You like casting spells. Would you like more spells with your spells?
Yeah, and you don't really come online until decent way through the game.
We don't need to get into that kind of thing. Dwarf Paladin.
Dwarf Paladin, another classic fantasy race. You have your dwarves. They like digging holes and living in mountains and hills. This is your knight. Often they have someone that they pay fealty to, some sort of oath. Sometimes religious, sometimes not, but they are your knights in shining armour.
And if you like to hit things and hit them hard, they are a good class.
They are a great class for hitting things and hitting hard. I play a paladin. She's great
I'll
fun.
grab the final postcard. The final postcard is actually a collection of all of the images that we've had, the class images that we've just had. There doesn't seem to be a collected monster postcard, but that's just fine. We'll get another look at those in a second because the next thing I'm going to pull out of the box are the actual stamps themselves.
They
and
are
we have
beautiful stamps.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. We open it up and see what's included. So it slides out nicely of its sheet there. We've got two separate things here. We've actually got something that we kind of went over here. So this spiel here is actually kind of a description of how, well, at a quick glance at it, it's a kind of description of how to actually play D&D and what's involved. As it starts off when creating a character, and then you've got class images above. I think this is separate as well. So these are the stamps on the back, which can come away from that card backer. And then we've also got this monster display, which has even more information about Dungeons & Dragons. Yeah, it just gives more information about the flow of play. Again, all of this is just loads of information about Dungeons & Dragons. If you know nothing, there's going to be a lot to take in here. And even if you know everything about D&D, it's still just going to be a pleasure to read it. And then we've got the array of monster stamps collected here as well.
And then on the top here as well, under his fingers, you have the set of dice we use to play the game. They do various different things. And probably the most famous one is this one at the bottom, which is a D20. This is the one that you make all your decisions with.
Wow.
Well, a lot of the
decisions
are made with one of these. But again, I love the illustration style and how they've kept it very much in the style of how you receive a source book or use their online resources, which is these sort of high fantasy illustrations. And the quality on the stamps is absolutely incredible. You don't lose any clarity on the images at all on these.
This is the first day issue. So this is available for 90 days after the release date. They have been postmarked. With this one shows the 50th anniversary version of the postmark. There is also a variety with the D&D ampersand logo. And on the back we have a spread of information about Dungeons & Dragons. I didn't read it, but I did see a little spiel about Gary Gygax, the founder and creator, alongside Dave Arneson. And the others who are involved, including the import to the UK. I won't read all of that now, but that's all there for anyone who gets hold of one of these. So I have a fan sheet, a Vecna fan sheet. Oh, I see, okay. So if you want just Vecna stamps in a special collector's sheet, this is the one you get. And I've got a couple more of these as well. So as you can see, we've got 4 stamps along the bottom there, and a fan sheet is surrounding it. Then we have the owlbear version of the same, which is quite a nice image actually.
That's a really pretty image on owlbear.
Yeah.
Which is slightly different to the...
Yeah, so they are different images to the ones actually on the stamps. You're not just getting a bigger version of that. Now we have a collected one. Is this the... that would make sense. There is a collector's sheet in the pack. And this looks like it. So there's a nice collection there of like wider angle images of, or background images to go with all of the stamps that we've displayed, the monster stamps.
Oh, these are different terrains and different places you can
Well,
visit.
there are locations, actually. There's famous locations within established Dungeons & Dragons
including
settings.
Probably one that a lot of people know about, Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
If you have access to a computer, you might have noticed that a very famous game based on Dungeons & Dragons called Baldur's Gate 3 came out very recently.
But the same with like Neverwinter Woods, Shadowfell, the Astral Plane, Sword Coast.
Underdark.
Yeah, they've picked the big name locations and they're all here.
And again,
Icewind Dale, that's a good one as well.
That's a good one. And also, again, these are beautiful illustrations that perfectly encapsulate that sort of high fantasy sweeping thing that Dungeons & Dragons goes for.
And maybe appropriately, the last thing I'm going to pull out the box, maybe, the Red Dragon band sheet. So there we go. So in fact, there are more products that we don't even have here that will be available for order on the website once this all goes live. So there are framed versions of these fan sheet images that will be available separately as well.
It's only the Vecna and the owlbear ones that you can get framed.
Yeah, just the ones we're showing right now. Unfortunately, the dragon won't be there. And I've been given one other thing that's available as framed. This is one that we do have today. The full framed special stamps and miniature sheet, showing off both the array of monsters and our playable characters, or sample playable characters. Shown there, and as it says, nicely framed for display.
And this isn't even everything. There's so much more that's going to be dropping. More framed editions of things, more of the limited edition prints of some of the images here. I do believe the Mimic you can get framed as well.
So another product that we don't have here today is another collectible that comes with a coin, and they're available both in the monsters and also the playable characters, and they both feature a special coin as well. I believe the Heroes version has a coin with a Mind Flayer on it that gives the appearance of a D20. And the Monsters version of the coin sheet contains a image of Tiamat, the dragon goddess, on the coin itself.
I fought Tiamat, she's great fun.
Yeah, sure.
I thought we did very well when we fought Tiamat.
Sure.
Who is a 5-headed dragon.
Yes.
And she is the queen of all of the elemental dragons.
Yes.
There's also a king of dragons who's all the chromatic.
No, wrong way around. Chromatic and metallic.
Yeah, who is the king of the metallic dragons. There are 2 kinds of dragons.
Yeah.
Lots of dragons in Dungeons and Dragons.
There are lots of dragons. There's
of
more
dragons.
than 2 kinds. So all of these items will be available for purchase from rawmail.com/D&D. We're really looking forward to the release of this. There's some really, really cool products here.
Everything is beautiful. Everything has been so well crafted. The illustrations they're just stunning.
Anything in particular that you consider a favourite from what we've got in front of us?
Oddly enough, I think it's this one.
Yeah? Why oddly?
I don't know. I just think all of the illustrations are just absolutely stunning, and it's just nice to see.
I suppose one of the ones where all of it's in one place.
It's all in one place because you've got monsters and you've got locations, and I think it's just very prettily presented as well.
Yeah.
So that's the one I like, and I also do just love the illustration. I think the illustration for both the stamp and the
dragon,
the fan piece
everything.
of the dragon is just really cool. I just think they're neat.
Yeah.
It's a dragon in Dungeons and Dragons. You can't really go wrong.
I mean, obviously, I wouldn't complain for the framed version. Obviously, that's very displayable. We have a lot of. Actually, we don't have that much blank wall space, but we do have a few places we could put it.
Yeah.
Put a TV out of shot here. We could put it above that, so you're always looking at your wonderful D&D stamps.
Yeah, we've got a lot of D&D paraphernalia, and I think it would be very at home here.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a lot of paraphernalia. Well, thank you for letting me come and nerd out over products from your job.
Yeah, we're not going to pretend my wife works for Raw Mail.
I do not know. I am just a big nerd, and when I was offered the opportunity to come and look at some cool Dungeons and Dragons merch as a dungeon master, I was like, yeah, I'll do that.
But yeah, it's been great fun to have a look at these products for Raw Mail.
So yeah, if you like what we do, let us know. That's how we know what you guys want to see at home. So if you like the mailman and his weird nerdy wife, let people know that you like the mailman and his weird nerdy wife. If you want us to,
and then we'll make our own channel and cut Raw Mail out of the deal.
Don't put that in the cut. But yeah, Royal Mail do loads of really fun collaborations on a massive range of third-party material and different games and different media. And we love talking about it, so do let us know if you want to see us back. I'll be back.